Welcome to my channel. My name is Cynthia and you're watching Mountain Accents Sewing. Today I am bringing a pattern review. This is a beginner pattern and it also is my first completed make for my Make 9 2025. I made the Emporia Patterns Kobi dress. The Kobi dress is designed to be a loose fitting dress that's cinched in at the waist with a belt, and it does have pockets. It is a very simple construction with only 6 pattern pieces. You have a front piece, a back piece, a front facing, a back facing, pocket piece, and the belt piece. And it comes in only 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. Now on the pattern envelope, it gives the fabric requirements and measurements that it's not your actual body measurements. It looks, I haven't quite figured it out, but I think it is the finished garment measurements plus seam allowance. But a small is equivalent of 8 to 14, medium is 12 to 18, and the large is 16 to 22. On the finished garment measurements, which is in this little instruction booklet, describes the small as being a bust of 46 inches, waist 43 inches, hips of 46. Now, since it is designed to be looser fitting and my actual body measures are smaller than all of those, I chose to fit a measuring tape around me with each of those measurements and just kind of slide it down to see how much ease that gave me. And I decided to go up to a medium to give me more ease. So for the medium, it has a finished bust of 48 inches, waist of 46 inches, and hips of 49 inches. And I think that worked out perfectly. And like I said, you do cinch it in with the belt piece. Thing I noticed about the belt piece, it's not cut as one long piece. It is actually pieced together with 2 pieces, and it's stitched in at the side seams for each side. And the instructions do not have you tell you to finish your seams, so it's kind of like a big 4 or big 5 pattern. Then it doesn't tell you to finish your seams. And there's a couple other things that I noticed that it didn't tell you to do. But still, I found it to be a very simple pattern. And even if you're a beginner, you can make this dress. So you start with, after you've made your belt, you sew your pocket pieces to the front and to the back. And for my next one, I would finish the edges of the pocket pieces prior to attaching it to the garment. And it does not tell you to understitch the pocket either. And I would do that in my next version. I will definitely make this dress again because I just love the way it turned out. And then you are attaching your belt into just above the pocket pieces in the seam. And I chose to finish my edges with my overlocker after attaching the pocket pieces. And I also overlocked the shoulder seams prior to sewing the front to the back. So then after you attach your pockets, you are attaching the garment at the shoulder seams, and then under the arm and down the side and around the pocket, and then on down to the bottom. So you have to be very careful not to sew your pocket closed. I have done that before back in my early days of sewing, so that is something to really watch out for. So your pockets are going to be out like this, so when you're sewing down, you go down to here and then around the pocket and then on down to the bottom of the garment. And you'll see that I have written in notes where I thought it needed extra instructions, so that even though I know, because I've been sewing long enough, but if you are a beginner, you may not know that it is best to finish those seams prior to sewing them, because it'd be trickier to do after the fact. So I did and I'll show you on the garment. Let me actually get it down. So this is my dress, and I also added a label here. It's a gorgeous label from Beyond the Pink Door. Okay, so when I finished my seams and I sewed the shoulder pieces together, I ironed them flat. And the same thing with the underside. And let me show you what I meant by the pocket. So I did not finish those prior to attaching them here, and so there's just a little section that is not finished. I serged those after attaching them, and I should have went ahead and serged around the edges prior to attaching it. The facing on the inside of the pocket, I don't know that it really is obvious that it's not understitched when I'm wearing it. I didn't notice it bothering. It didn't bother me, but it might bother some people. And I think still it would look better if it was understitched, because it would help hold that facing to the inside. The instructions also do not tell you to interface your collar pieces. So I did add interfacing. I also overlocked my bottom edge prior to sewing it to my garment. And at first I thought that the instructions did not tell you to understitch the collar when you attached it, but it did. And so in step number 14, it tells you to understitch the collar after you've attached it. So that is definitely where you would need to understitch. Even if you failed to understitch anywhere else, you definitely need it there to keep that facing from poking out. An additional step that I did after attaching my facing is I stitched in the ditch here at the shoulder seam to hold my facing pieces down flat. And like I said, I added the label to my back facing piece. The instructions do tell you to cut notches into this seam. It doesn't specifically tell you to cut into that V almost to your stitching line. And so I made sure that I cut there before flipping to this inside. And like I said, the only place that I sewed the facing down is at the shoulder seams. And once you put this on, you do have to kind of tuck your facing in at the front V, but it stays in place once you do that. I have not had any issue with it trying to flip out. And the hem, you hem your sleeves and you hem the bottom, and you're done. I mean, it is the very quick make. I didn't time myself, but I think I definitely got this done in like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And they encourage you to hack this pattern, you know, and I think you could do lots of things with it. You could make the belt pieces longer so that you could wrap them to the back and then back around to the front and tie it, or you could tie it at the back. And I did try taking some pictures with it tied to the back. I don't think I saved any of those because I wasn't happy with the way it looked on me. And the first day I took pictures, it was so cold. It was one of the coldest days of the year. And I put on sandals and it was windy. And I went outside and took some pictures, and you'll notice there's still some snow on the ground, which we still have a little bit of snow on the ground where it's not all melted. And then I wore it again today and paired it with a crochet shrug that I made a few years ago. But I also tried it on with a blue jean jacket, and it looks okay with blue jean jacket, but I really like the way it looks with the shrug and some black tall boots. As far as the pattern, I would give it a 5. Instructions, probably a 3. If you have sewn 1 or 2 garments, you probably would have no trouble, because like I said, it is a very beginner and easy pattern. It is more or less knowing to interface the pieces that need to be interfaced and knowing how to finish your seams and when to finish the seams. Let me talk a little bit about the fabric that I made my dress out of. It is a viscose fabric called Black Ice. I received this fabric in a Beyond the Pink Door Think Pink subscription box. I bought the one-off box for December. And this was the beautiful fabric, so I got 2.5 meters. And I still have a little bit of fabric left over because this dress does not use a lot of fabric. Now, this pattern is got these beautiful larger flowers. And one of the reasons I chose to make that dress is because it does not break up the print. I believe it highlights the fabric and just really makes the fabric shine. And so if you have a fabric in your stash that you want to let it be emphasized, then this is a good pattern to go to. Fabric recommendations for this pattern include quite a large range of fabric choices. And it's everything from like rayon viscose, cotton sateen, cotton, chambray, even denim, cotton lawn, silk, peach skin, and crepe. So the world's your oyster. You can choose lots of different fabrics and it's going to look great in this dress. This is my first Emporia Patterns sewing pattern that I have tried, and I really like it. I definitely would like to try another one of their patterns. And if you haven't tried them, go check out their patterns. I did buy this from Minerva Fabrics UK, but I know you can order it also from their website, and I'm sure there's other places that carry their patterns. But I highly recommend the Kobi dress. Let me know in the comments if you have made any of their patterns before and which one I should try next. I am wearing a Tilly and the Buttons Freya top. It is from her book Stretch. And I made this in a size 6. And I've got it paired with a pair of Tilly and the Buttons Mila dungarees in a burgundy corduroy. It's wide well corduroy. It's got a little bit of stretch. And I received this fabric in a Think Pink subscription box, and then I purchased the corduroy from Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door. And I love this outfit. I hope you've enjoyed watching my video today, and if you like what you've seen, please click like and share the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and leave me a comment. I look forward to talking to you again later.